One t-shirt style you may have seen is that photographic t-shirt style. It's extremely popular, especially in things like pop culture or referencing a movie or old film or something like that. And I'm going to show you exactly how to make that style using Kittl. I'm going to show you exactly how to set up the photographic t-shirt design style using all of our features, tips, and tricks in Kittl. And by the way, if you haven't signed up yet, go ahead and sign up to try Kittl for free using the link down in the description. And you can follow along with this tutorial, so let's get started. Alright, I'm going to show you a couple of different ways and couple tips for making photographic t-shirt designs. Now the first thing to keep in mind is how big you need it, whether you're doing this for print on demand or maybe you're sending it in to order a bulk order of shirts. Make sure that it is sizable, right? Quite large, especially if this is going to be a photographic t-shirt. The photo you're using, the resolution is probably quite high, especially if you're using an integrated photo or a photo you took. So make sure you have a nice big artboard. Now I want to just focus in on these top two mountains here in the top part of the photo. So I'm going to right click and hit crop, and I'm going to bring this up to just focus on this part of the photo. I don't really need that shrubbery down at the bottom or the road with the one kind of random car coming around the corner. I just want this part of the photo to kind of be more of like a national parky style t-shirt design, but instead of using like an illustration, we're going to actually use the photo. Now the second thing you can do is resize this once you crop it. So you can double click into this or right click and hit crop and still make the image larger or smaller. So now this kind of fills out this rectangle a little bit, and I can move it down or left or right or whatever I need to do. Now another thing you need to keep in mind for your shirt is the style that you want. So we have these hue and blur, vibrant, saturation. We have all of these photo adjustments over on the right side that will give you a different aesthetic for the shirt design. So I'm going for a more kind of muted, kind of retro vintage style that's going to be a kind of, national parky style t-shirt design from the old days. So I'm going to turn down contrast and turn down saturation to give this much more of a film vintage effect, okay? And I also know that by decreasing, some of those colors, it should come out a little bit more consistent on the shirt, being that it doesn't have to try to print so many different colors, especially if I'm going to do print on demand where I can't always see every single print. You can also add a little bit of noise if you're going for more of a vintage vibe. And then what we want to do is make sure we add type that is going to complement this, right? So I've added text, which you can do by hitting the T button, and then we're going to pick a font that very much fits this style. So I've got this kind of playful condensed serif, so that way I can type a pretty long phrase like Monument Valley or whatever this might be, or whatever you might be creating that has the photography in it. And then I'm going to add a little bit of text here on the bottom. This is the sandwich effect, right? So we have type, then we have a photo, then we have type again, or you could do type and then a graphic and then type again. That's also generally a pretty good t-shirt sandwich, tip. So then we're going to add some grunge effect. I'm going to hit alpha mask and then clip content so that this kind of punches through. And here is the design mocked up on a hoodie for you to see what it would look like. You can see that alpha mask kind of cutting away some of the background, so it looks super vintagey. Hey, real quick, if you're getting value out of this photographic t-shirt design tutorial, let me know by hitting that thumbs up button and that red subscribe button. It'll take you just 1 second. Then let me know down in the comments, do you like this style of t-shirt design? Do you personally wear it? Or are you looking to make some t-shirt designs like this to sell on your Etsy or Shopify or maybe on Amazon or something like that? Let me know down in the comments, and let's get back to the tutorial. Now, another thing you can do in Kittl with your photography is make shirts that are masked with the photo, right? So you can add a mask in a variety of different styles and shapes. So we have some that are in animal shapes, we have some that are in object shapes like the heart or the sun, we have skulls, we have every kind of mask in here, and we also have letter masks. So if we scroll down just a little bit, you'll see letter masks, and you can make some really cool effects by putting photos in the letter masks, lining them up to make a really cool thing. By the way, you can type the letter that you're looking for and it'll come up in the search bar. So let's go ahead and pick a mask that we want, like this one, and we're going to make kind of a summary photo. Now, we have summer vibes here in this nice retro script font. So let's go through a couple different photos to see what will work. So this first one could work, but there's no real clear subject. It is summery, there is water, but there's no clear subject, and it doesn't make a great t-shirt design, right? So we need to find a subject that also still screams summer. So let's try this one, the beer that's on the sand with some water in the background. And while that could work, this doesn't really cater to every single audience. Maybe if your text said beer vibes or summer beer or something, that could work. But if we're wanting also kids to be able to wear this, we need something different, a different kind of subject that's going to work for, all audience. So let's try another one, and I think this one is going to work. We have a nice focal point. This is also kind of nostalgic, right? You have that floaty you might have played with at the beach or in the pool. Clear subject, it fills the circle or the mask well, and it matches the type. So here it is mocked up on a tank top. And I think this would be really cool. You could easily sell this in your print-on-demand shop. I could see this definitely on Amazon or Etsy or wherever you're going to sell it. That is the second tip. Now, the third tip we're going to utilize for photography is removing the background from photos with clear subjects. So if I click this background remover here on the right side, you can see that the background is now removed from the Statue of Liberty, and I'm left with a very clean, clear subject, a clean-cut subject, and I can crop it if I want to, right? I can keep making this come up and taking away bits and pieces of it if I want to, right? You can also click out to get rid of the crop mode. So then what we're going to do is add some type. I've already made this little banner right here. I just pasted in, and then what we're going to do to kind of fill the space is add more type to kind of fill in the background of this, right? So maybe we're making a New York shirt. I'm going to add this grunge text that matches the grunge kind of streetwear vibe we have going on at the bottom, and I'm going to put NYC, and I'm just going to duplicate that like this, and then I'm going to lower my letter spacing, and what we'll do is fill in the rectangle here by putting this in the back. So if I just make this big and I try to put it over top of it, it kind of feels a little bit weird, but we can right click and we can send it to the back, and then now it's starting to come a little better, and it kind of fills the composition so you can see or envision what it would look like on the back of a shirt or front or a hoodie or whatever. Now we do have some conflicting color here that's competing with the cutout of the Statue of Liberty, so we need to pick a color that complements the Liberty statue but doesn't compete so hard. So we can grab this eyedropper tool and we can drop a color from the Statue of Liberty itself. Now maybe we want to go for a darker color up here near the torch, and we can try that, and that could work depending on what kind of apparel you might be selling. But we can also pick one of these more kind of neutral tones that just blends into the background, which I think works a little bit nicer for completing this composition. Here you can see it mocked up on a jacket, and this just works completely for that tall vertical style. So that is the third tip, removing things from a clear subject in your photo. Now, if you want to see other tutorials using Kittl, I have these videos here on my right that I know you're going to enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any upcoming videos and features and things like that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.